What's up? Welcome to this edition of the Bourbon Rookie, where once again I am your cigar rookie, and I'm going to be tasting for your viewing pleasure L'ATALIER. This is a cigar by Pete Johnson, Tatuaje Cigars. It is made in conjunction with Don Pepin Garcia, who I guess rolled the cigars, or made some, I guess he produced the cigars. And not a whole heck of a lot of info on their website, the L'ATALIER website, other than just the basic information. So it's a Nicaraguan, the country of origin, they say Nicaraguan, 6.5 by 56. It looks bigger. It looks like almost a 60, but it's a 56. The wrapper, interesting. Don't know what this is. Sancti Spiritus, Ecuador. The Sancti Spiritus Ecuador wrapper. Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler, and roughly I've seen online from 10 to 15, but locally I bought this in my cigar shop for 22, I think, before tax, in New York, in the Long Island market. So, without any further ado, this is probably going to be a double dip because I'm going to try a smaller ring gauge size. Sorry about the watch, by the way. And hang tight. We're going to get right outside. We're going to start smoking this thing. Now, right away, I'm getting honey. Like a beautiful sweetness. A little bit of a sweet grass. It smells fantastic. Let me see if I can get some info on that Sancti Spiritus Ecuador wrapper. All right, so the Sancti Spiritus tobacco that was used for the wrapper, I'm guessing, because I didn't really get a whole lot of info on this, it's a region in Cuba, Sancti Spiritus. It's a strand of tobacco that's grown in Cuba, and I guess the seeds basically shipped and purchased and then grown in other countries. So the Sancti Spiritus Ecuador, I'm guessing, Pete Johnson got a bunch of Cuban seed and planted it in Ecuador, or somebody did, and they grew it in Ecuador, and that's why it's Sancti Spiritus Ecuador. Pretty sure that's how it goes, because a lot of Cuban seed does get planted in other countries and grown, and then they use it in cigars and try to label these cigars as Cuban seed cigars. So there you go. With that, we're gonna light this bad boy up, and we're gonna go outside where it's a little chilly, but we're gonna just bear through this for my audience. All right, I'm gonna suffer through this. So hang tight, guys. All right, so I'm only a half inch in to my L'ATALIER cigar, and I gotta tell you, there's a lot of wonderful flavors going on, and retrohale. There's a very creamy rosado. Is it rosado wrapper profile? There's a creaminess to it, like the rosado, meaning like it's almost like an Ashton VSG. If any of you in the audience have had an Ashton VSG, the sun-grown wrapper, it's quite good. There's some earthiness in the flavor, some leather. Oddly enough, I'm getting like almost a raisin underneath with a little bit of a cocoa, and like a cinnamon and a white pepper. It's a little drying on the tongue, so I definitely got to pair this with some water. But so far, I had to really get in here and I'm not even, like I said, through the first half inch, and just give a flavor report, and we'll see how consistent it is from start to finish. So I felt it was necessary to come back in and show you that I've gotten a little bit of a burn issue. I'm not sure if it's because of that stem, that thick vein that you see running along the back of the cigar there. All the flavors that I described earlier are still there, except I'm picking up a little bit more wood. Maybe because of the stem, not sure. But still enjoyable. I haven't corrected it yet. The ash held on for about 1.5 inches. Sorry, that's the puppy moving around. And it's just overall it's just a great cigar. I got to take the band off because it's starting to swell a little bit. At the band. So that's got to come off. But yeah, stay tuned. So I'm at the end of the cigar, and I had some burn issues with that stem that I highlighted. I had to relight it to burn through that stem. It didn't really do much to alter the flavor of the cigar. It got a little bit more woody, but the flavor profile remained fairly consistent. Cinnamon, a little bit of a raisin note, believe it or not, at least for me. A little bit of a cocoa, creaminess to it, not harsh on the palate. Just the retrohale was the same. It was good, and highly rec on this cigar. If you find it online, I think it might be a little hard to get. Depends on the website you use. It could be anywhere from 10 to 15 a stick. Definitely pick it up if you haven't tried it. Construction good. I got no complaints other than that little bit of a burn issue with the stem. But definitely gonna pick this up again at my price point here in New York at my local shop for $22. So stay tuned. We got another cigar, same line, just thinner ring gauge. Bye for now. All right, so next up in this double dip, we have the L'ATALIER Lancero size at 7.5 by 38-inch ring gauge, same blend with the Sancti Spiritus Ecuador wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler. So I'm looking forward to this just to see how much the wrapper influences the blend. So with this thinner ring gauge, I'm going to get more of the wrapper, and hopefully, if memory serves correct, because I had that other cigar last night, I'll be able to kind of go with some memory here and see which one had the better influence, which cigar the wrapper had the better influence. So stay tuned. So I am halfway through my L'ATALIER signature Lancero, and the first half I really didn't like it as much as I liked the I guess the Toro size, the 58 by 6, which surprised me because normally I like Lanceros. I like more of the wrapper, as I had already stated, but right here the cigar has kind of hit a sweet spot where the flavor profile has changed. It's as drying as the other cigar on the palate. The wrapper is wonderful, but it's almost too much wrapper on this one. It was a little bit more woody, and I know I had a woody issue with the other cigar because for me, I think it was because of the stem, but this was a little bit more woody, a little more drying. a little harsher, but now at this point the creaminess is kind of kicked back in. The wonderful rosado flavor, I left that out. That's been prevalent throughout, that I was getting from the other. The other cigar is a little bit better balanced because of the thicker ring gauge. So in this instant, for me, this is one of the few times where I've actually seen the opposite for me, where the bigger ring gauge actually worked out better. This is a tighter draw, which surprised me also. The other one had a real easy draw. So let's see where this goes. Stay tuned for my final thoughts. So I'm coming into the final third of my Lancero by L'ATALIER, and it's been an enjoyable cigar. My feelings haven't changed. I do prefer the bigger size on this particular brand. The wrapper in and of itself is wonderful. I'm surprised that there isn't more of a trend. It's not a new cigar. It's been out at least 5 years. A little hard to get, but this wrapper is really quite unique. And if you haven't smoked a cigar in any size, definitely, if you can get your hands on it, definitely pick one up. Like I said, I'm surprised other cigar manufacturers haven't made this wrapper a little bit more of a trend. I don't know the history on it. I don't know if Pete Johnson was just able to procure the seed on this. So much like the Mexican San Andreas wrapper is a little bit of a trend with Nicaraguan binder and filler. I'm a little surprised that this one hasn't kind of made the rounds. But again, the wrapper is really good. It's a little bit more, just with the Lancero, a little bit more, obviously a little bit more prominent, but a little bit more bitter, especially on the tip of the tongue. Not as creamy as the other cigar. Both drying, blah, blah, blah. Said everything ad nauseum. Highly rec. So pick it up if you see it. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next review, guys. Stay frosty.